Why can't women sell digital products? Now, before you come for me, hear me out, because what I'm about to say isn't just about women. I mean, men fall into some of these same traps too, but I've noticed something that seems to heavily weigh more on the women. I'm talking about some of the most brilliant women online. I'm talking about authors, mentors, speakers, thought leaders, content creators. I mean, they can captivate thousands, they can light up a stage, they can entertain millions, but when it comes time to sell their digital products, they freeze. And it's not because their offers are bad, and it's not because they don't have the expertise, but it's because of 5 simple mistakes that will kill your sales before they even start. And if you don't deal with these, then it won't matter how great your content is, or your sales funnels, or your email automations, you will never scale. And once I fixed these for myself, I made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product, doing a little over 900K. So today I'm breaking down exactly why women struggle to sell digital products and how you can flip that script so you can stop leaving money on the table. Because I want you to win, sis. Look, real quick, before I get into these 5 shifts that you need to make, and they're very, very simple fixes, and it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break them down once I get to them. But I have to call out one of the biggest traps that I see out here that's making women think that they can't sell. And it's this whole done for you digital products, MRR, master resale rights, copy and paste digital products, digital marketing, bull. And who do you see promoting it the most? Women. Not because women can't build real businesses, it's because the marketing preys on them. It's always packaged as women empowerment. They're always gonna tell you some crap like a girl boss, or $10,000 a month passive income for girl bosses, or you go girl boss. $10,000 a month if you just package and resell this template or this ebook or this course. It is complete, utter bull. But here's the truth. Reselling somebody else's ebook or a template or a course, that is not building authority. It's not building trust. It's not even building a business. It's just passing around the same old tired files, and when it doesn't sell, you start thinking, I'm not good at this. No, it's not that you're not good at this. It's that the game is rigged up to fail. You were set up to fail from the start. And I didn't even know that this whole world existed until I started to make videos on YouTube. And I just started to get introduced to all these women that were coming to me for help to learn digital marketing so they could just sell this resale course. But listen, digital marketing is what the words mean. It is digital marketing. There's so many women out here that think that digital marketing is some type of new hustle. Anything that you sell online and you promote digitally is digital marketing. If I was selling this Aaliyah t-shirt right here, RP the baby girl, and I was promoting it online, I'm doing digital marketing to sell the t-shirt. If I have an iPad right here and Apple digital markets to sell the iPad, then Apple is doing digital marketing. But there's so many women out here that think digital marketing is buying some course that some woman convinced them to buy to make them feel empowered as a woman and a girl boss and a entrepreneur, and go make some passive income or some easy, lazy side hustle or some crap, that they're thinking that that is digital marketing. When no, digital marketing is marketing that is digital. So anything that you sell online in order to market it, you're doing digital marketing. That's why so many women are out here struggling doing some type of done for you digital products, master resale rights, taking somebody else's template and then just selling it, because you're not selling an actual product. That's why nobody that is trying to sell that stuff can explain what it is that they're selling. So if you can't properly even explain what it is that you're selling, why would anybody buy it? So they can buy the course from you to learn how to sell the same course? What does the course do? What is the transformation? What is the solution to a problem that the course is fixing? They don't know. And since they don't know, they can't properly communicate it. And since they can't properly communicate it, the person that they're trying to sell it to can't understand it. And then nobody buys it. The only people that are selling it, it's just making all these huge financial claims, claiming that they make It's always $10,000 a month, or how they were broke and went to rich from selling and doing digital marketing. But what were you marketing? They're marketing a dream to these women, and these women buy into the dream just to realize that it's a freaking nightmare. Now that I got all that out of my system, let's talk about the real reasons outside of all that crap that women struggle to sell digital products, and how we can fix that, and how you can build offers that people actually want to buy. And like I stated at the beginning of this video, there's 5 mistakes or 5 steps to eternity. We were 4 steps past love and 3 wishes. We were 3 wishes. Sorry about that. Every time I say 5 steps, the song comes to my head. I love Drew Hill, and Cisco is one of the most underrated R&B singers of all time because he has one of the best R&B songs of all time, Incomplete. But I'll get into the Cisco Drew Hill bag on another day. So look, we'll get into the first of the 5 pillars right here. So look, the first reason that women struggle with sales is that they take no personally. So think about this. When people say no to you, they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to their next level. They're saying no to the result that they claim that they want. And what I found to be true for a lot of the women that I help and I coach and that reach out to me and people that join my community is that when women hear no, they tend to go back into little girl energy. They shrink. It's like, oh, nobody wants to be my friend. Nobody values me. But nah, that's not what's happening. You got to put your big draws on. And maybe I used the wrong phrase as far as little girl energy, because a couple weeks ago, I was kicking it with my little cousin. Her name's Aubrey. She's only 9 years old. And Aubrey was telling me about some fake friends that she has and how these girls were so fake because they've been talking about her behind her back and they're not including her in all the little plans and stuff that they have. And she wasn't even upset that they were being fake and weren't trying to be her friend. She was thinking that something was wrong with them because Aubrey, she a little diva. And she was like, ain't nothing wrong with me, something wrong with them. They being weird, they fake. I don't even want to deal with people like that. And when it comes to sales, if people are saying no to themselves, cool. You don't want those people to become your customers anyways. Why would you want somebody that doesn't believe in themselves and that doesn't want the things that they claim that they want to buy your stuff anyways? For one, those people aren't going to take any action with what it is that you have to offer anyways. Therefore, you're not going to get any good word of mouth. You're not going to get any testimonials because you're not going to get any results because they're not going to apply the stuff anyways. So what? So when in doubt, just ask yourself, what would Aubrey do? Shout out to Aubrey Rain. She is a very, very confident young little 9-year-old diva. But you can't attach your worth to their decision. If they say yes, great. If they say no, great, move on. Because no doesn't mean that you failed. No means that they weren't ready. Detach your emotions from the outcome and don't worry about the outputs or the results. Focus on your inputs and just watch how your power doubles like literally overnight. The second mistake that I'm seeing a lot of ladies out here making is that they're selling products instead of selling positioning. Right? So they're putting the products over the positioning when this needs to be flipped. You need to be putting the positioning over the product. And what I mean by this is that you need to be positioning results over selling products, because this is what people want right here. Somebody could care less about buying another digital product. Somebody could care less about buying another ebook, another template, another course, joining another membership. But what they do want is the result. And you need to position your results and make the result your offer over the product. And I hear this all the time. So many ladies, they'll talk about everything that their product, that their program has. They'll say, oh, my program, it has 6 modules and it has 12 hours worth of content and it has weekly calls and it has lifetime access and it has 38 trainings. Look, nobody cares. Nobody wakes up in the morning wanting 12 modules, but they wake up wanting freedom, clarity, confidence, more income, better health, a six-pack, how to get over childhood trauma, how to confidently speak Spanish at their favorite Mexican restaurant, how to have a healthy relationship. Look, when you sell the container, people they tune out. But when you sell the transformation, people they lean in. Stop rattling off the features. Too many people, they talk about the pieces instead of the payoff. You always want to talk about the payoff. You always want to talk about the result. You always want to talk about the transformation. You want to sell the vacation, not the trip. And so many people in any of their marketing, in any of their messaging, in their content, they're selling the trip instead of the vacation. A lot of people wouldn't want to go to paradise on their dream vacation if they knew that they had to get to the airport 3 hours early. And then before that, they had to catch an Uber and wake up 4 hours early to catch the Uber, actually 5 hours early because they had an early flight and have to wait in early morning work traffic, and then wait 3 hours at the airport, and then go through customs, which if anybody goes through customs, it sucks to then have 2 layovers. And then once you get to this country, since the country is so small, now you have to take a 2.5-hour boat ride that you might get seasick on to then finally get paradise, right? That's what a lot of people are doing with their products. That's what a lot of people are doing with their offers. They're selling the trip instead of the destination. People, they want the vacation, because a lot of times the pieces of everything may make something seem undesirable, but you know what it is that they desire. So just lock in on that. Stop rattling off the features and start painting the picture of what it's like once people work with you, right? Once people buy your products, once people are tapped into the information that you have that can help them to get their desired transformation. That's what makes people buy. Now, the third thing, which is a huge mental block, and this happens for men too, but I just happen to see it more so with women, and that they think that selling is something bad. But you need to realize that selling is serving, right? So don't look at it as if you're selling stuff to people. Look at it as if you're serving these people, because you are. A lot of people think that selling is pushy, and that if you're selling, that you're being manipulative or slimy. Like, you hear a lot of people say like, oh, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to come across as salesy. I don't want to be too pushy. But the only way that you make money in business, and the only way to do business, is that somebody has to sell something and somebody has to buy something. So if you feel like that you have to be salesy and pushy and slimy and manipulative, that's not sales, that's bad sales. Real selling is serving. And if you know that you have a solution to a problem and you don't offer it, then you're just being selfish. Just think about it. If you had the cure to someone's pain and you kept it to yourself, is that integrity? No, it's the same thing here. When you flip the script and start seeing sales as a service, it becomes natural. It stops being scary. It starts to become an act of leadership. You don't always have to push stuff down people's throats in order to sell stuff to them, right? You can still help certain people for free through your content. I know that majority of people that watch my content will never buy anything. That's cool, but guess what? I'm still serving them. They're still getting true value, and they're still getting results from my free stuff. So a way that can help you feel more at ease with this, if this is an issue for you, is just make great content and make your content better than other people's paid content. That's a content strategy that I have. Like, I know for a fact that my free stuff is better than other people's paid stuff. Why? For one, because I bought a lot of paid stuff and I see the crap that's there. And for two, because people let me know on pretty much a weekly basis about the results that they've gotten from my free content. So when I do make an offer in my content, people, they're not upset about it because of all the free value that they receive from me already. It never comes across as he's just trying to sell us some stuff. It comes across as, he's genuinely adding value and helping us, and he has an offer to help us a little more intensely if we want it. Some people take it, some people don't. Either way, everybody wins. Now, the fourth thing, and this one might sting just an eensy weensy bit. Now, I've seen men struggle with this as well, but from the people that I've personally helped and the people that I've personally coached and the people that have joined my community, it seems like that this one really is like a mental block for more women. And it's that you got to stop pocket watching. All right? You got to stop pocket watching or wallet counting. A lot of women sabotage their own selves by trying to decide what somebody else can afford. Oh, she's a single mom. She probably can't pay. Oh, he's just starting out. He probably can't afford it. Look, that's not your job. You don't know their bank account. You don't know their priorities. That single mom that you think can't afford it, well, she could afford that Louis purse. That guy that's just starting out, well, he could buy that weed and those bottles in 1942. And these are two examples that I'm telling you in real time of people that were claiming that they couldn't afford some stuff from me. I go to their social media, I see that she just went and bought a Louis Vuitton purse and he just is on the camera smoking weed on his phone and flexing bottles of 1942. People can afford what it is that they want to afford. People are always going to find a way to come up with the means to buy what it is that they actually want to buy. So stop trying to sell stuff to people that don't want to buy your stuff. Like Apple doesn't call you to check and see if you can afford it before they launch the new iPhone. They launched the new iPhone, and the people that want it buy it, and the people that don't. Your only job is to provide the value and let adults make adult decisions. Stop pocket watching, stop wallet reading. It's killing your sales before the conversion even starts. And then the fifth thing, and this one is a real powerful one, and this is one that I'll say isn't primarily just for women. This is something that we all have to embrace, and this is something that is really limiting and stopping a lot of people from achieving everything that they should and are fully capable of achieving. And this is that you have to start embracing rejection, right? I'm gonna draw a little heart here. My little heart's a little messed up, but it's coming from a place of love, right? You have to start to embrace rejection. A lot of us have been carrying this wound since childhood. It's like somebody told you no. Somebody told you that you weren't good enough. And now every single no in business, whether you realize it or not, unbeknownstly to you, is like reopening that scar again. So instead of pushing through, you freeze. You play small. You make offers that doesn't scare anyone. You try to blend in instead of standing out as the unique, amazing individual that you are. You try to blend in and be normal with everybody else. And you start to think that you're not special and that you are like everybody else, but you're not like everybody else. Do you realize that the chances of you being you, like the chances of you even being born, are like over 1 in 400 trillion? Like really think about that. Like you are a special individual that was put here for a purpose. And something that you have to understand about rejection and failing is that it's all part of the game. But I like to look at failure from this perspective. I look at fail as this. Fail, F-A-I-L, stands for finding an individual lane. So the only way that you figure out what will work for you is by failing and being rejected. Think about everything that you now know how to do without a second thought. You failed at it a whole bunch of times. That's the only way that you learned it. Think about driving a car. Remember, I used to be terrified to drive a car, like especially once I actually got on the road. And I remember my daddy, he had this nice black Cadillac. I put a nice thick scratch mark all the way from the passenger side headlight all the way past the passenger side door. He was trying to impress his friend, like, yeah, I've been helping my son. I've been teaching my son how to drive. Hey son, go ahead and back out the driveway. I said, Daddy, I'm not comfortable backing out the drive. No, go ahead, show him how I showed you to back up. Man, that was a little gate with a hook. Man, that hook caught that door, and then I panicked and kept turning it the wrong way. All the way down that Cadillac. And it was like fairly new too. I used to call it the Batmobile. But but like that was a failure. I didn't stop driving. I kept on messing up at driving until now you get in the car, you don't even think about driving, right? Same thing with tying your shoe. You didn't just learn how to tie your shoe. You messed up a whole bunch of times. Same thing with walking. Same thing with talking, right? You failed. Therefore, through all that failing, you actually learned and you found an individual lane and you figured out your way to do it. Well, rejection is the same way. So online, every time somebody says no, especially if you're not like taking sales calls or anything like that, it's pretty easy to deal with. Like anytime somebody clicks offer your stuff, that's basically them saying no. Anytime somebody clicks the link and decides not to buy, that's basically somebody saying no. Anytime somebody chooses not to click on your video and watch it, that's basically them saying no. That's all rejection. But it's not personal. It's not proof that you're bad. It's proof that you're in the game. And there's so many people that are scared of rejection so much that they refuse to even get in the game. But every single time that you get rejected, you just know that you're in the game and you're taking a risk on yourself and you're betting on yourself that so many others are too afraid to do. And fear can stand for two things, F-E-A-R. Fear can stand for fuck everything and run, or face everything and rise. I choose to rise with all my fears. And I know that when I feel any sense of fear, that's something that I need to attack, because everything that I want is on the other side of it. If you're not getting no's, then you're not making enough offers, period. And something that really helped me with this was back when I first started my entrepreneurial journey. I fired my job April 1st, 2016, right? And at this time, I was in a small niche in real estate called wholesaling. So have you ever heard anybody say like, hey, you want to flip houses without using any of your own cash or credit? Or have you ever seen any signs up on the corner in cities? Typically they might be in like a lower income area in the hood, right? You'll see a sign that says, we buy houses cash. I used to do that stuff. So just to give you a quick breakdown, not to explain the whole real estate stuff to you, but I would basically find an owner that's in some type of situation to where they may not want to sell their property, but they need to sell it and they need to get rid of it fast. And they're most likely willing to sell it at a discount because they need to get rid of it fast because of whatever life situation that they're in, right? Well, I would get a contract to buy this property from that person. Then I would just be the middleman, and then I would sell that contract to an end buyer for some money, whether that be a house flipper, a landlord, somebody looking to turn it into an Airbnb, something like that. And I would get the difference between the purchase price that I negotiated with the seller up front and the buyer on the back end. So if I negotiated a purchase price of $100K with this individual, then I go and I tell the real estate investor, hey, I have this property available for $110,000. Well, I would make the difference of the 10K, right? That's how I first got started in entrepreneurship back in 2016 when I fired my job, April 1st, 2016 to be exact. Well, the only form of marketing that I was doing for my business at that time was cold calls. I was literally getting on the phone every single day and I was terrified of it. Like, it's crazy now when I think back on it. Like, why was I so scared to just get on the phone and talk to somebody? Like, that person over the phone, they can't do anything to me. They can't hurt me. They can't harm me. The worst that they can do is maybe curse me out, but it's over the phone. They're just gonna hang up, right? But I realized that if I didn't get over my fear of making these phone calls each and every single day, then I was never gonna make any money. And on April 1st, 2016, I made the decision that I would never work for anybody again a day in my life. I became mentally unemployable. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna eat if I don't start making these phone calls. So I trained my brain to start to embrace rejection, and I started to play a game with myself to see how many no's could I get that day. So what I figured out, once I started to track my KPIs, and KPI stands for key performance indicators, I started to realize that like once I got a couple hundred no's, then I would get a yes. And my yes, on average, an average deal for me will probably be like anywhere on average, like maybe between 4K and I'll say probably like 13K. Sometimes I will get little small deals, sometimes I will get bigger deals, but on average, there was somewhere around this measure, right? So I started to play a game with myself, and every single time I actually closed a deal and made some money, I would go to this South African restaurant. I love their chicken wings. They just had some bomb chicken wings, and it started to become a joke with the bartender because every time they saw me, they knew that I made some money. But I would tell her about this no that I got, right? And she would be like, "How many no's did you get?" As she was making my drink, because she knew that I would celebrate the no's. So I would walk in there, I'd be like, "Yeah, I got 373 no's." She'd be like, "All right, you want them chicken wings and the drink?" I'm like, "Yeah." Right? So I learned to get through the no's faster because the faster I got through my no's, the quicker I get to a yes. And a lot of people are so scared of rejection that they don't take all those rejections that they need to get in order to get their desired result. The more that you avoid all the rejection, the longer that it takes you to get what it is that you actually want. And I have that same approach with content or in my marketing to my offers. I'm like, let me hurry up and get all these no's out the way so I can find my yeses. Let me hurry up and get all these people to click off of my stuff so I can get the right people that will click on my stuff and tap into what it is that I have to offer. Because I know I can help somebody. I know that I can truly add value to somebody. I know that I can help somebody get to their desired destination faster by helping them avoid a lot of the traps, the pitfalls, the woes that I've been throughout my entrepreneur journey and with me building the online business. That's how I've been able to help people get numbers just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know to build your income, impact, and influence, go ahead and click the link down in the description to join this Credit at the Top community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But I'm telling you, it's not because you're not experienced. It's not because you can't sell. It's not because you suck. It's not because you're not talented. It's not because your idea isn't good. It's not because the market is too crowded. It's because of these 5 mistakes. And the great thing about mistakes, which gets me excited, is that you have an opportunity to fix them, and you can start fixing them today. Because that's the great thing about problems and mistakes. Problems have solutions. If a solution didn't have a problem, then it's not a problem. It just is what it is. But these are problems that you're most likely making, and the great thing about it is that it just gave you solutions. So detach the no's, start positioning the results, start serving people with integrity, stop deciding what people can afford, and embrace rejection as the filter that gets you to the right buyer. And watch how your online business just does a complete 180. And something that you have been struggling with for so long will finally start to work for you. And that's how you build a real business with digital products, and that's how you keep money on the table. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here about what you can create to drive traffic to your offers, because a lot of people are trying to do this with a personal brand, and that's not the way to go either. Check this out about what you should build instead. It's Credit at the Top.